everybody, and welcome back to the United Stand. It is the Final Score / Fans Forum. It's a mix of everything. Your player ratings. Make sure you hit the link in the description to do your player ratings as we go through them as a forum and get your player ratings in as well. Ruud van Nistelrooy, Old Trafford, 5-2. 1 win out of 1. He was getting emotional at the Stretford end. Huge game for him, legend of our club. Very, very happy for him. A lot to talk about, a lot to say. Just done the watch along, so welcome back everybody, or welcome if you're just tuning in for the player ratings
Well
now.
done you three for that as well. Fair play to you. You've kept the studio 100% watch along going. Win-win. That's what it is. WW.
I mean, people say, you know, Ruud's got 1 out of 1 wins for the interim record at Manchester United. I mean, you've got 2 out of 2 over here for the watch-alongs in the studio, so you know what I'm saying?
Who needs Goldbridge, eh?
Sign us up. We are the lucky charms here in the studio, and you guys are too. But Kev, great to have you on. Welcome. We've seen you come in about in that second half.
Yeah, hid in the corner.
Yeah, but what you think of the game? You happy for Ruud?
Yeah, delighted. What I will say is, Leicester, we're going to get beaten with this brush this evening, aren't we? That it was only Leicester, this, that, but I think it's that old saying that you can only beat what's in front of you. We've gone out there. When is the last time we scored 5, kind of goals? Plenty of goals, and yeah, buzzing.
Yeah, a lot of people asking where Mark is. He's ill tonight, so he's not been able to do the watch along or the final score. So we're filling in. Me, Ricky, and Maud have been live since 5:15. So please show.
You've had a long day, you lot.
Please show some sort of appreciation in the chat and hit like the video as well. But Ricky, I know what you were saying. It's only 1 game. You can't read too much into it. But you're happy for Ruud and you're happy with the performance.
Happy with the performance and absolutely over the moon for Ruud. Over the moon for him, and I hope he can get another win on Sunday. And well, he's got a few games, we believe now, don't we? The new man's not coming until the international break. So I hope he can keep that run going and at least stay unbeaten, say until the international break.
Plenty of positives to take this evening as well. I think, individual players, when you look at them, they've gone out there, done the business. I think even the team that he set up was a bit different to what Erik ten Hag would have put out as well.
Do you think? Because Ricky and Maud says they think it would be the same.
No, I don't think he would have started Ugarte. I think he played
There's
really
not
well.
many options.
But Eriksen was injured.
There's no options.
Do you know what? I still don't think he would have started it. I
do think he did because he started against Fenerbahce. I think the way he set up was a little bit different. For example, Ugarte and Casemiro, it was like a double pivot, which is usually we have not really seen Ten Hag play with a double pivot, apart from in the games that we played really well in, as Ricky would say, with the Amrabat and the Mainu and them sort of games. So I agree with you, Kevin. It was slightly different, but I do think it was very much similar. I just think the players were up for it because 1, you're trying to impress the new manager. 2, you're trying to show, it wasn't me that was bad. Everyone, it was, that look what I can do, especially in terms of Casemiro's case, and also you're in front of Old Trafford. It's the cup, and you are against a second string Leicester side. I think it's a mix of everything. Really.
I think there's a few that didn't take their opportunity this evening as well, which was. Well, can we say it's a surprise? There's probably 2 off the top of my head that I look at and I think, are you being serious? The manager or the potential manager that's incoming is going to be watching this evening and looking at this. And yeah, 2 players spring to mind where I think they've not really put in a shift. So that's up to them. You know what I mean? They are playing for their future at this club.
Well, Kev, obviously Ricky and Maud have had their say on the watch along, so I'm going to come to you guys in a second, but I want to ask you another question because this was a big one coming in the chat, and get all your super chats and opinions in. A lot of people were saying, okay, yeah, we've scored 5 goals and we've won a game at Old Trafford, but we've been struggling to score goals all season. So now you turn up, now Ten Hag's gone. Do you think that's a reflection on the players of, well, why is it happening now?
No, not necessarily. I've seen a bit of a difference, but again, you need to go back to the fact that this was Leicester. Well, when I say Leicester, it's technically Leicester's probably reserve team, isn't it? So if you want to break it down in isolation and you look at it, and let's be real about this, man for man, the team that Ruud van Nistelrooy has actually put out was littered with internationals. We should be winning this game. We have won it. So in that sense, yeah, I didn't see that they were running through brick walls for Van Nistelrooy, as if, that kind of, weight's been lifted, now Erik ten Hag's gone. I didn't really see that.
I think one player we saw that for, Maud, though, it was Casemiro. Like, he was a big one tonight. What maybe looked like he had a point to prove, do you think?
Yeah, but I think more in terms of just efficiency with Casemiro. Like, he was just very good on the ball. He had a lot of good diags where he was switching the play. He played it in behind a few times. I think for the Garnacho goal where he played it behind to Dalot obviously crossed it in, Garnacho scored another great ball. Yeah, even defensively, there were times where he was making like little last-ditch tackles, and I think in terms of just, like I said, his efficiency, and before we'd see, Casemiro potentially, losing the ball a lot in the midfield or missing a lot of simple passes. I don't think that's an effort thing, in my opinion, because it's not like he was running more today. I don't think he ran a lot more or he was more physical or anything like that. I just feel like I said, in terms of his actual footballing ability, he just played a lot better. So, I mean, I don't know. You can put
that having the right blend in the middle, having the right sort of partner next to him that's freed him up.
100%, because Ugarte had probably one of his best game. I've seen it anyway in a United top. So potentially, it's the fact that Ugarte was having an amazing game. Ugarte was all over the pitch as well. That could have been a reason why he played so well.
Well, Jordan sent me a message, so credit to Jordan. Hopefully, see you soon up in the studio. And he sent me a message that said Ugarte's engine paired with Casemiro's brain, Ugarte's played really well and done the basics to a good standard, allowing Casemiro to express himself. Yeah. Which, Ricky, do you agree with that? I think a lot of people wanted to see that double pivot and give a bit of structure to the midfield.
Yeah, look, all players have got different strengths and different weaknesses. No two players are exactly the same. And if, for example, Eriksen was still fit, we'll never know now. But Eriksen supposedly had some sort of injury today, didn't he? If he was fit, maybe he would have played, and then it's different. And we're probably still, we're playing Leicester. No disrespect to Leicester, they made quite a lot of changes, but you also need a bit of luck to go your way, and maybe that little bit. If you change your player, everything changes. One pass doesn't follow the next pass. Everything changes. So if you change your player, it might not have happened. But Eriksen might well have played had he been fit. But it still worked well, and they have got different strengths. And Casemiro was sort of a bit freer because he's got Ugarte next to him, and he ended up getting a couple of goals. But I know a lot of people think I'm a bit strange the way I think about football. But Casemiro had a fantastic goal. But people are sort of all saying, all these things happened because the manager's been sacked and the players have got new leagues all life and different. He could take that shot on 50 times. He's only going to score it once, and it doesn't matter who the manager is or who's in the dugout.
I think he has took it on 50 times. That was the first time he scored.
But you could even take him out on the training pitch with a goalie in, and you could have 50 shots at him in an hour from there, and he'll still score 1 out of 50. Yeah. It's got nothing to do with anything apart from the fact that it just happened for him today.
That's why
he could set the same shot next week, and he could set the same shot last week, and it doesn't happen.
You are right.
It just happens.
That's why I don't subscribe to this theory that they ran through brick walls for Ruud tonight. It's all to do with Ruud. You look back to Sunday's game at West Ham. The difference is today we got a little bit of luck. Yes, you score a worldie. The Bruno free kick takes a heavy deflection. Everything kind of went for us, and yeah, you make your own luck. But you look back to the West Ham debacle, that first half. If we took our chances in that first half, we're 4 or 5-0 up, and we're talking about one of the best halves of football that United have played this season. But it didn't happen. Dalot takes the ball around the keeper, puts it over the bar, and it's fine lines.
We were sat obviously doing the watch along, and don't forget the first 20 minutes we were saying Leicester were the better team. Yeah. So it's arguable that we played better on Sunday than we did today. It's a funny old game.
Do you know what's mad for me? It's like literally last week, the whole season we've been saying how thin our midfield options are, not strong enough in midfield. Midfield's like a donut, we're wide open in midfield. Now I'm sat here and I'm thinking, who's going to make that two-man midfield in Amorim's new system? The 3-4-3. The two midfielders with the wing backs. Because Casemiro and Ugarte could be in with a great shout. I know it's only been one game. You've got to see a little bit more. Mainu, obviously, when he's back fit, you've got to think he's got to play. But will he? If Casemiro and Ugarte keep playing like that, you'd like to think he would. Eriksen's been good in the 8. Bruno Fernandes, does he play there up front?
I think it's just about, you're 100% right. He has a good selection of players that could play there, but it's about partnerships. I think it's not just about who's on form right now. Let me just slap in Mainu and I don't know, Eriksen and just hope it works. No, it's about which two players complement each other, and if you're going to make which two players complement each other, and if you're going to make changes, make sure that, for example, let's say it is a let's say it is Ugarte and Casemiro today, you know that Ugarte complements Casemiro a lot. You're not going to go and put a player next to Casemiro like who doesn't run a lot or who doesn't cover a lot of ground, because then now you kind of putting Casemiro back in that same old situation where now he's going to get exposed a little bit in the midfield. So it's about them, whoever the two midfielders are, make sure they complement each other nicely.
The big test will come on obviously Sunday, won't it? Chelsea.
Yeah.
We've just beaten Leicester, in the Carabao Cup. Yes, great, you can only beat what's in front of you, but he could play that same two, on Sunday against Chelsea. We could be totally overrun, and we might be having a different conversation on a fan forum after the Chelsea game saying, by God, we needed to mix that up. It's kind of horses for courses, isn't it? You pick the right players to play, the opposition that you are playing, really.
There will be no post-match press conference for Man United tonight, so Ruud will not speak in a post-match press conference.
Why is that, I wonder?
I don't think you have to do it for the Carabao Cup. Right. Usually you would, especially with a win like that, but maybe they're just trying to limit Ruud's exposure as much as possible, considering Amorim will be coming in. Probably just want as little questions as possible about the manager situation, because he'd probably get asked about Amorim, and they probably don't want that. I mean, let's see. Obviously, everyone's excited for Amorim to come in. Everyone knows Ruud's just on an interim basis, but it's just nice to see him get a win, and especially considering what he's done for the club in the past and the legend status I think he holds at Manchester United.
Did you have a few shouts on the watch along, like give him the job?
I've seen some comments already.
Was it the Solskjaer type, give him the 10-year contract now?
Put it
on the contract on the table.
But it's like, you do have to take a step back and say, it's Leicester's second string at Old Trafford, and you're getting a new manager bounce. But credit to the players, and plus luck was on our side. Like Ricky said, how often does a free kick get deflected in from Bruno? Basically never. Casemiro must have at least one shot every game, especially at Old Trafford from outside the box. They barely ever go in.
3 tonight,
fantastic strike tonight. Don't get me wrong, some players had really good performances, particularly for me, Ugarte and Casemiro, but you just got to take each game as it comes, and like we said, Chelsea will be the proper test. Before we get into player ratings, I just want to put something to Ricky. Ricky was saying about Bruno's free kicks. He was also saying he was giving Garnacho a bit of stick on the countdown to kick off, and I think a lot of fans have been a little bit frustrated with Garnacho over the last couple of games. Sometimes ball hogging a little bit and not making the right decisions, but we know there's talent there. He's only 20. He just needs to be coached in the right way. And considering maybe, people have been frustrated with his decision-making at times, Ricky, 10 goals and assists in 15 games so far this season for Garnacho. Really? It's only October. Yeah. So, stats are there. Just needs to channel it, doesn't he?
I know he's going to say that.
I thought we've covered this over the years, Beth. I thought you understood better now.
I'm
we need to play better. We need to make more clear-cut chances and score more goals as a team.
I've got to play devil's advocate as a host, Ricky. I've got to get the answers.
I heard that Ruud van Nistelrooy went in the changing rooms before the game today and stuck that up on the wall. The quotes that Ricky said about them too, and they used it as motivation today to go out and up the game. So. Yeah.
Well, we've got
You're the motivator, Mr. Motivator now, Ricky. That's what you are.
Garnacho is our most effective attacker. I mean, he is so far. He is. He's our most
statistically.
He is our most effective attacker. But what I will say is, I do think he shouldn't have as much game time as he does. I do want him to play in the team, but I do think his minutes should be managed a little bit more, mainly because of Ahmad and the fact he is only 20, and you need to understand your place in the team and develop. And I think if you get overplayed, that can affect you sometimes. And I think he needs to have a manager put his arm around his shoulder and say, "This is when you're in this position, we need you to look up and cross it into the box. When you're in this position, we need you to do that. Defensive shape, we need you behind the ball in this position. When you're in the defensive third, make the simple pass. Don't try anything fancy, because we've seen you lose the ball a few times." Of course, he's got areas to improve in his game, and I think under the new coach, maybe he won't play as much as he was playing under Ten Hag. I still think he'll play minutes, but he has been effective in terms of output this season. You can't take that away from him.
But the interesting thing, if he's going to go with this three at the back, and you're talking about playing wing backs,
that's what I mean. I don't see where
it makes it interesting. I heard you on the build-up, Ricky, because you were saying obviously if you're going to play that way, then it means one of the attackers is going to miss out, because the numbers do not stack up. And then you kind of look at the left back situation. Luke Shaw's got injured, coming back from injury, and you're like, for God's sake, man.
Look,
You know, on the
Luke's
right hand
not
side,
playing
Dallow's not ripping up trees at the minute. I don't think he's in great form at all. You know, and the new manager might look at this area. It's such a key area, that left and right back now, whether he's going to revolutionise it, you know, bring his own players in. We don't have a clue. It's exciting in one stage, but you know, at the same time, he will have his own ideas of how he wants to play it, but he's going to need a player on the left and right that can defend, but equally, you know, they're as good as getting forward, because all the top teams in Europe and that have these sort of hybrid players on the left and the right that can do the full job. Not one that we've had, you know, in past, you know, where you look at say Wan-Bissaka to an extent. You know, was great defensively, but getting forward not great.
Absolutely flop in an Amorim system as a wing back. He's not a wing back, is he?
But yeah, we'll have to see it. Yeah, it's interesting to see.
I think
what
Garnacho
he's
is
going to
definitely
do.
one of them names where people are unsure where he's going to fit, but I think he
like
will
you say,
fit somewhere.
Yeah, he will. But he might not, as you rightly say, get as much game time as, you know, what he is or what he did under the Erik ten Hag regime.
Mords, I seen you going like this.
I just don't.
You're not a big Garnacho fan, are you?
No, I just think he's so like, you know, the term overrated sounds harsh. Like, it sounds overhyped. It sounds really harsh. That's why I don't really like saying it a lot, but it's just facts. Like, I get it. He scored today. He was nowhere near one of our best players. Like, let's be real. Like, and it happens so many times where he'll be on the end of a cross and score, and then people will be like, "Oh, Garnacho had a great game," because like he had one tap-in goal, and it's like, was he really one of our best players, or was he just running down the line a lot? Like I just feel like people look at Garnacho and the style that he plays. He's the kind of player that wants to like take on a player, so it looks like he's doing something, but in reality, he's just losing the ball a lot. He's just taking pointless shots.
But I do think he takes, like I said, decision making. But at the end of the day, you know, he has got good output so far this season.
He does. So that's why I don't really like getting on to him too much.
And goals do win your games, and he is a match winner. But I get, you know, the team has to play better, etc. But we've got some breaking news, and it is that City are out of the Carabao Cup. Tottenham beat them 2-1. Yes. Don't want to get too ahead of myself and be like, thank you Spurs, because Spurs could easily beat us and send us out. But City out, that is the one team where I think that's a tough day. That every other team, I think, you know, on our day we can definitely beat them. I mean, City on our day we can beat them. Ten Hag managed it, but still.
Liverpool, Newcastle,
Spurs.
City have gone. Oh, Spurs.
Villa are gone.
Yeah. Arsenal, City, Liverpool, and Spurs. We need not City. Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs. Who am I missing? Newcastle. We need them 4 teams to draw each other. 2 pairs. Don't care who we get.
I would love Arsenal to draw Liverpool.
That'd be brilliant.
Again, yeah, they're playing recently as well.
And Newcastle to draw Spurs would be nice.
There's a big chance you're going to get some big matchups here, aren't you? There's big teams going out. Quarterfinals we're in now, aren't we? So yeah, it's good. Yeah. There's some big teams.
I'll get the draw up as well, so as soon as it comes in, we'll be able to see who people get. Getting some super chats, then we'll start with player rating, shall we, guys? Yeah. We can discuss the game as it goes along. Sarah Barr says, loved the Ahmad cameo, hardly lost the ball. We all liked it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Did you see how much happier you looked coming on in this game?
The overhead kick, though.
The overhead kick was wild.
I almost jumped out my seat. Yeah. Oh, genuinely.
Honestly.
But even Maud said when he come on, I remember hearing Maud saying he's smiling.
Yeah.
You know, in stark contrast when you think when he was coming on under Erik ten Hag at 3-0 down after being dropped, and we're 3-0 down against Liverpool, and he's bringing him on, and you're thinking, what's he doing here, man? You know, the poor lad, and his face like thunder, you know. You tell he wasn't happy, so I think from Ahmad's perspective, you know, Ten Hag going, you could tell that they clearly, well, I was going to say for whatever reason, for the reason that he's not getting game time, that's the reason the player's obviously not happy with him. That's a weight off his shoulders now, and hopefully the new manager sees what we all see in him.
I agree with you.
He gets more game time, hopefully.
I agree with you, Kev. I hope so. I think he's someone who could thrive in that Amorim system, so let's see. Interesting, Sir Dave Brailsford on his way out of Old Trafford gets asked by a fan if the Amorim deal is done, and he says, yes, it is done.
Right.
Really?
Interesting stuff. It's on video. So
fans got the exclusive outside Old Trafford.
Romano's there. Like, no.
Saw that video.
But to be fair, I think he said it's done already. Nathan Bilby says this Garnacho hate is weird behaviour.
It's not hate.
I feel like you can't say anything about Garnacho before people say it's hate.
what it is? You're analysing the game. Like, you want every player to do well, but you're not going to say every player is elite in every aspect. Every player has strengths and weaknesses. We discussed that.
Yeah, just because you got criticism of somebody doesn't mean you hate them.
If I said I don't like him as a person,
loads of people I criticise.
It's not hate. It's just Like, you know, Amorim might come in and he might not fancy him, and then is Amorim hating on him? No, it's just people see football in different ways and people rate different footballers. That's what it is.
Yeah, I criticise my wife, I'll say, you know, don't leave them shoes down there, you know, in the doorway. Doesn't mean I hate her.
You know?
You say I want steak for tea tonight, not that. Mojo says the way Ruud waved towards the Stretford end before walking off, it's obvious he will leave. We'll have to wait and see on that one. I think he will still leave, but let's see. Lee Grant says, what a shift. Give these guys a pay rise, Goldie. Got to read that one out.
Let's read it twice.
We've got Patrice Everest saying, Kev, where are you? I missed you. I love this game.
I'm back, just in time.
Broadmon says, Kev, of course a weight has been lifted. Eric Ten Hag, who I think was holding the players back with his tactics, is gone. No brick walls, the shackles are off. Mandalorian says they played like their lives were on the line. Sirabar says the double pivot gets the best out of Casemiro. Breach Rhoda says, I think it's safe to say Xerxes is not Premier League quality. We saw that tonight. We'll do player ratings in a second and we'll talk about him as well. Noman Malik says, check heat maps and you'll see how much the team moved. I know Bruno had a lot of touches in this game, but he usually does as well, to be fair. Patrick Lynch says, happy with the win and with the goals, still shaky at times and would like to see that tightened up. Also an eye-opener with regards to players. And Alonso Moralina says, glad Ruud got the bounce from these players, but we've seen this before. I guess we'll ride with it. Cheers to you all. Thanks for stepping up. Thank you so much for your super chat. M. Parker says, why is everyone also going on about the players? These are all Eric Ten Hag players. Thank you very much for the compliment and the glasses as well. Got them coming for the player ratings. And DJ says, nice to get a comfortable win today after all the turbulence we had in the last couple of days. Van Nistelrooy did a good job. Love the United stand. Cobby Barney says, do you think we've got the same result with Ten Hag? Probably not, but you never know in football. You can never see everything 100%. Ryan Lord says, I think I've seen this movie before. Anyone else? Big Steve says Casemiro's class tonight. He blatantly did not want to play under Ten Hag. I think that's a bit unfair. He scored against West Ham and played well against West Ham. I think he's a professional, but I do believe he probably got frustrated with the midfield setup that was under Ten Hag, and he did look like he had a point to prove. We'll get more super chats in as we go on. We've got to get on with the player ratings. And Mojo, legend of the chat, gifting 20 United Stand memberships. Absolutely fantastic. Let's start with the player ratings, and for this I need my glasses because Greg will be clicking it at the same time as you guys have all done your player ratings, and we'll do them together. So we'll say ours and then we'll see if the chat agrees with us. So let's start off with Bayern Day, 6 being the average.
That save he did to the cross when he hit the crossbar.
That was a good save.
Amazing save.
Second half, that was a good save, but I would say overall he looked a little shaky. But
first goal, I think
are we
he was
being
at fault
a bit
for.
harsh? You know, he hasn't played, especially under Ten Hag. I think there was opportunities maybe to rest Onana and bring him in, which he never did. See, he's another one today that I think if Eric Ten Hag was here, he wouldn't have. I don't think he would have started him. I think he would have gone with Onana.
Do you think? Because he did play against Barnsley, but I suppose it was Barnsley, innit? So.
Yeah, listen, we'll never know now, will we?
He flapped at that ball that ended up being a goal, the first goal, but it didn't go to a player who scored. I can't remember if he passed it or it bounced off him or what. I can't remember. But he's a little bit unlucky to concede a goal from that, even though he did flap at it and only went to the edge of the box. I thought he did all right, Ben did. And he had no chance with the other goal. I'll give him a 7.
You giving him a 7? Maud, what are you going with?
I mean, he did concede 2 goals, so can't pretend like he was perfect. That save was a really good save, though. I mean, there's no halves or anything. It's just straight up 6 or 7.
Yes.
Between one and them two?
You've got to pick.
Okay, I'll say 6.
6, eh? Yeah, fine.
You going with 6?
Yeah, 6, yeah.
Do you know what? I'll give him a 5. I thought shaking. I thought it was a good save, but I'm being told, listen, it's the first time I've done this player rating show. I was told that 6 was average, so I'm just going to say it was just below average. I'm not building it up for that save. I can't give him that extra point to say, yes, you know, that save has got him an extra point. I'm looking at it as a full performance, and
apparently you can do halves.
Right, that changes
I'm not going
things.
to do it. On Beth's show you can. I'm putting my foot down, no halves.
I just think that the question's different. Let's say Onana was injured now and Binder was put in today because he's going to start against Chelsea. How confident would you be? Yeah,
I'd be worried.
Right. That's all I need to know.
I'm giving him a 5 as well, Kev. Mainly because I thought for the first goal, I thought it looked a bit shaky. I thought overall he looked a little bit nervous. Obviously, he doesn't play that regularly. Did do a fantastic save, credit. But I also thought his distribution was not great, so I'm going to go 5.
Which is probably testament to Onana as well, you know, because It's very rare that we don't see an Onana in net. To see somebody else in net and then to see the distribution where you look and go, what you're trying to say really is he's not an Onana, isn't it, distribution-wise.
So if we've both gone with 5, you've gone with 6 and Ricky's gone with 7, averages
Ricky,
out...
you're setting the bar high here with 7s.
Averages out at about a 5.56, so let's just go with a 6 to be generous. See what the chat have said. 5.8. Close enough.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Close enough. We're on the money there. Next up, we have Victor Lindelof. Obviously played. It says it right back there, but he played as centre back in this game. Kev, we'll start with you on that one.
If Ricky's giving Bayindir a 7, I dread to think what Lindelof could come in here for. Is there an 11 there? Is it off the scale? Victor Lindelof did all right.
I don't remember him.
Yeah, I think there was one instance in the first.
for the defender if you don't remember it.
One instance in the first half where he kind of got wrestled off the ball a little easy.
Oh yeah, I remember that now,
Yeah,
Kev. You've jogged my memory.
I'm just trying to remember now looking, but
And I do
I'm
think
not
this-
nitpicking like.
The centre back should have been more dominant in getting that ball for the second goal. I don't know if it was particularly him though. I'd have to watch it back, as Ricky would say.
Yeah, we're not doing halves, are we? So do you know what? I'll say a 6.
A 6. Mods?
5.
Steady 6.
Give him a 5.
8.
You're not giving him an 8.
I'm giving him an 8. I thought he was
Yeah,
really
You
good.
can't give him
He
an
only
8.
put a foot wrong. He lost the ball once on the touchline. He never put a foot wrong.
He was
come on,
a bit
Richard,
soft
this
in
is-
that tussle, weren't he?
Yeah,
This is
one
going to be
tussle, yeah.
the wildest player ratings in the history of the United
You got
States.
even it out.
I was going to give him a 6.
Not even
You
moved
two have
into midfield.
You give him a 6, didn't you?
6,
And you give him a 5. I was going to give him a 6, but if you've gone with a
5? What did he
8,
do so
You
badly
can't
wrong?
base it off his though.
No.
Well, yeah, you can't. But what you also can't base it off his. What did he do so badly wrong to get a
But
5?
5 are bad though. I feel like 5's kind of like you didn't really do anything.
Well, 6 is
6 is
average.
So
it's
I'm saying
just-
he's average.
He's at least average, wasn't he?
Well, they
Surely.
conceded 2 goals as a player. You concede
To be
to
fair,
Leicester.
he
that's
did
still...
get wrestled off the ball a bit. We're taking this so seriously. We have to get it dead on. For me, even though I don't do halves, it'd probably be like a 5.5 for me. I'll just round it to a 6 to be nice because it's the first player.
I just know how serious the United
Should we
Stand
go-
community takes
because-
these player
Is it
ratings.
serious?
I
The
we
The
need to
average
get
is
this
6.
right.
I think.
not taking
I think
it.
between us, the average is 6.
Because
isn't it?
Ricky went with 8, we'll just go with 6. So let's go with 6.
Watch it say 8.
5.7. Oh, we're not far
We're
off
in
on
and
that
around
as well.
it. We're in
Right.
and around.
Delit. Should we all agree on 6?
Yeah, I'm up with that.
Yeah.
Since that's.
Think
go on.
But I would go with 7. But you lot will
Do
probably
you know
go
what?
5 and 6.
I was
so-
just going to say, actually, Ricky, I would have gone probably with
bit higher
7.
for Delit.
I think he continues to impress, and today I thought he actually stood out. And so he should do against, that kind of Leicester side. But thought he showed his class, especially in the first half. Muscling the ball out of play, and he just looked, different class.
Right, we'll go with 7 then. 7 for Delit. 6.1. We're a bit off on that one, but to be fair, it was over the mark. Lissandro Martinez at left back today.
I thought James Justin had a fun game today. I'm not gonna lie.
There's loads of space down that flank in the
Loads of
first half,
space,
time and
yeah.
time again.
not
I
really
can't
his
really
position.
remember
Not
if
his
it was his
position,
fault
yeah.
or
I
not.
don't want to say
say-
it's his fault because even right at the start of the game, I remember saying that Martinez is so high up the pitch. I don't know if that's an instruction or that's just how he was choosing to play, but they were getting in behind on that side a lot. Like I said, James Justin had a few good chances, so
He doesn't fill you with much confidence, does he? Really?
I'd give him a
left
5 max.
Yeah, I'd give him a 5.
Max 5.
I reckon 5,
4,
yeah.
5.
Do you know what? I'll agree on that.
James Justin is a good player though, to be fair, but yeah, we'll go with 5 for Lissandro Martinez. 6.1.
Wow, the
a
same
bit
as
higher on
Delit.
a bit higher on the player ratings there. Get a few super chats in before. Actually, no, we'll do the defence first. So Diogo Dalot, everyone. For me, it was a 6.
Good assist for the Garnacho goal.
He was a good assist, but
There
I
was
still
talk
give him
of
a 6. I
hitting
expect
a
that from
I'd give him a
offside.
6.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Settle for 6, Kev.
Yeah, all right. I was gonna try and sell you a 5, but I can
Oh, I
see.
got it dead on.
Oh,
Bang
6.
on.
There we
6.
go.
Very
And
nice.
that's an improvement for Dalot because he's been loitering below 6 for a few games now. So
He's not in a great run of form, Dalot.
that cross from Dalot is what we want, and Garnacho did bury it, so good to see. So we'll get some super chats in before we move on to the midfield. Patrice Evra says we need to check Ricky's water cup every show. Maradona says Amorim out. What?
Wow, it started already.
The song that we will sing after 2 years. Oh, come on, he's not even got through the door yet. Amorim in. Amorim in. Polo Ree says, a much improved Dalot performance. If we see anything near last season from him, he will thrive as a wing-back. He played there internationally. Yeah, I think Dalot could thrive as a wing-back. Hopefully Amorim can get the best out of him. PT5 says, a big shout-out to Beth, Mods and the team for the mammoth shift. Thank you for your work. Thank you very much. Anthony Tracy says, Bruno, Rashford, Casemiro can't play 3-4-3 press. Problem. We'll have to wait and see for Amorim on that one, but your opinion there. Sarah B says, love that Ahmad Cameo done that one. Thank you everyone for all your comments coming in. Let me just make sure I've got them all. I have. Let's move on to the midfield. Casemiro.
We've got to go Ricky on this one. What did you set the bar at for the first player? A 7? That's why I was thinking, what's Casemiro going to be?
I'll give Casemiro an 8.
Give him a 9.
8 for me.
I would say 9. I think in terms of a performance.
So that's definitely 8.5
goals.
between us.
I think he's involved in 3 of the goals. Good defensive performances. Why not?
Right,
didn't you say he was playing like Paul Scholes during that game? When have you ever liked Casemiro's Paul Scholes?
Every time he passed it, I was like, yeah, that's amazing,
even though he scored one banger, he still took a few too many shots from outside the box for my liking. Not maybe a few.
Confidence was high.
Might be a bit.
Can't be perfect.
Few might be a bit high. So, he was really good. Do you know what? Let's push it up to a 9. Let's push it up to a 9. Are we happy with that?
8.5.
8.
8. We should have gone with 8.
Is it 8? Yeah.
We should have gone with 8. But, you know, it's our player ratings. We're getting a bit hyped up. And Ruud van Nistelrooy with a quote to compliment our player rating there. He said, I was delighted for Casemiro, the way he's been training and helping the team and the club. He's such an example. I'm delighted to have him around and going through difficult moments. He got a lot of criticism after the Liverpool game. And sorry, too right, he did. It was terrible. But, you know, what do you do when you play a game like that and you're terrible?
You get your wife to get on Instagram and post a picture of all the trophies that you won for the club that you previously played for. That's what you do.
Kev, that's classic. But also what you do is you get your head down, you work hard, and you put in good performances and you come back from it.
Yeah.
And
he has come back fairness,
So, yeah.
You both.
Dave Brailsford again appears to confirm it's done. It's done when asked about Amorim. We love to hear that. Hopefully that'll be official tomorrow. That's the word coming out of Sky. That was class, Kev, from you. Manuel Ugarte.
Solid performance.
7.
8 for me.
8, 7.
See, I would have said 8, but now I'm looking at that 8 for Casemiro, who I thought
we give him a 9 though.
Yeah, I suppose. Oh yeah.
There's no way you Lindelof.
See, if I would have give Casemiro an 8, I would have give Ugarte a 7. But because we've give Casemiro a 9, I feel like we have to give Ugarte an 8.
Because they come as a kind of partnership.
7? You think he was a 7 out of 10?
I never said that.
I thought it was an 8.
No, I'm saying, well, do you think he was a 7 out of 10 though?
I would have gone higher.
If we give Casemiro an 8, I would have give Ugarte a 7, but because we've give Casemiro a 9, I want to give Ugarte an 8.
Because I think Casemiro was able to flourish because of the work that Ugarte did, receiving the ball on the edge of the box, the one-touch spinning, turning. It allowed Casemiro that room in front then, I think, and he did a lot of the donkey work today in and around that box,
give him an 8.
clearing
100%
up.
give him an
8. Settle on an 8.
8.5.
Ricky's getting fed
Sold
up.
to Ricky.
7.2. We're a bit too high on Casemiro.
Because we went high on Casemiro.
It's all right. It's all right. Manuel Ugarte comes in at 7.2 for you lot and 8 for us. Let's move on to Marcus Rashford. Scores might start to dip here.
Yes.
5.5.
4.
Really? I'd give him a 4.
I'll give him a 10.
You're somewhere in between a 4 and a 5. 4 or a 5.
I'll give him a 4.
I think Rashi has done well on the right wing for the last few games, but today was not one of them games. He was running into players too often, and I would have liked to see him get a few more crosses into the box. A lot of his crosses hit the first man.
Yeah, I think even just after the second half started, he was losing the ball a lot, making wrong passes, and then he got brought off pretty much like 10 minutes later or something like that.
And in terms of being at United, you know, he's one of the most, what you class as senior players now. And no disrespect to Leicester, but it was their sort of second string reserves, whatever you want to call it. For me, a player at that age now should be standing out against, you know, Leicester City reserves. And to me, Rashford just looked ordinary. And I can't just say it's just one game in isolation where it's not been his day today. This has been going on a hell of a long time. I don't know.
A lot of people in the chat saying we're being harsh. It should be a 5.
For Rashford?
Yeah, I'd give him a 4 personally.
Maybe I just don't know how to rank.
So I'm going 4. What are you doing?
I'll say 5 then.
Mods?
4.
I'll go 5.
Oh. Right, so it's a 4.5. We'll just... Are we going to be nice and give him a 5?
Then it comes up at 4.5.
Right, we'll give him a 5.
Give him a 5.
5.6.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Bit more than what I expected. Maybe we were seeing something different on the screen. Bruno Fernandes. 6 is the average. Bruno Fernandes.
7.
7 for me as well.
7.
7.
Yeah.
Standard 7. All in agreement.
And let's give props to that goal.
That's close.
That goal where he rolls the ball around the keeper.
Class.
Wow.
Composure.
Love that.
That's the first one we've all just agreed, and I'm very surprised, Ricky. But that it's the free kick in it that's got you.
I could guarantee if we did player ratings every week for like every single game, there's no way we'd be agreeing that quick on Fernandes week in, week out with Ricky.
Honestly, with Ricky giving Lindelof an 8, like,
He set the bar high.
Should we do player ratings every week on the forum?
Right, well, I've rewatched it tomorrow and I'll stick it on the group, what I think.
Yeah, you can. Alejandro Garnacho.
Ooh.
I'll go 6.5.
I think 7.
I would have agreed on 6. Yeah,
He did score.
It's in between 6
he
and
did
7.
score in it. He did score. So you got to push it up a little bit. So 6.
Lord, you're such a hater.
What were you going to say? 5?
No, I'm joking. I still give him. He wasn't better than Bruno.
Don't crumble. You stay in your.
No, he wasn't better than Bruno. So Bruno's a 7. How is Garnacho a 7 as well?
I think we were on similar
You think
levels.
Garnacho and Bruno played the same?
No.
I think he was a bit.
Maybe Bruno was like a 7.5 and Garnacho was maybe like a 6.5, but just got to meet in the middle there. What are you giving, Kev? We'll just go across and we'll do the average.
I'd say 6.
Okay, I'm saying 7.
Saying 6.
6.
Right, so I've outvoted.
6.3 the average.
So we'll go with 6.
What are we up to?
6.9.
6.9.
Guys.
Close, darling, close.
Exactly. Next one, Joshua Zirkzee. 4.
See, he's the one, when I mentioned earlier about players taking their opportunity, knowing that this new manager is watching and thinking, I want to show what I'm all about. And for me, that man tonight, I don't know what it is. Again, I'm not going to write him off as a player because he's only just come in. I don't know whether now that Ten Hag's gone, he's lost a little bit of confidence, but I just haven't seen it this season one bit. And this evening, I don't think it was a great audition to say to, the new manager, I want to be part of your plans, Gaffer, because a lot of running about, there wasn't really.
I think this is
it was a poor performance, man.
One of the worst games, in my opinion.
Breaking news from Sky Sports coming in. Official agreement on terms and date for Ruben Amorim leaving Sporting Lisbon for Manchester United could be confirmed tomorrow. One option under discussion where Amorim stays for 3 more games, then moves in November during international break. So just basically the same thing we already knew. But anyway, sorry, what were you going to say, Mark? To cut you off then.
I don't know.
Zirkzee we're on, aren't we?
Yeah. Rating.
For me, he's below average.
That's got to be at
He
least
wasn't even
4.
average.
Average is 6, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll go 5.
4 for me.
4.
I'd
3,
4.
4.
Right, we're doing 4.
But I'll give Rashford a 4, she might be a 3.
4. 5.5. That's generous. That is generous.
I feel like I'm doing the ratings wrong because I feel like ratings are too harsh.
Moving on to Johnny Evans.
Oh, the subs.
Sir Johnny Evans, the subs, yeah. I mean, I thought
Ricky's time to flourish here now.
What's wrong,
Johnny was solid when he came on. I give him a 6.
9. What did we do wrong? You got to do something wrong.
9. Come on.
Well, he only
Go on, I'll give him an 8.
How long did he play for?
Literally
You know
give
what?
him more than Bruno.
He's man of the match.
Casemiro.
Nobody seems to realise that what the jobs that defenders do. Don't put a
He's
foot
man
wrong.
of the
You've done
match.
all right.
Just for Ricky, we're giving an 8. Give him an 8.
That is hilarious.
That's hilarious. 5.9. Yeah, like a 6, like I said, Rick. A 6, like I said. Move down onto Mazraoui. Again, I would go with 6.
Yeah, I'd go with 6. Yeah.
It's going to be 5.6.
6.1.
Yeah.
Ahmad, 7, I think.
I
thought he came on and did
wish he
well.
scored.
Yeah, the overhead
No, we
kick.
can't give him a 7 because we give Garnacho a 6, so we can't do that. Because Garnacho got a goal and an assist.
No, I don't think it's a 7.
It's going to be
Played
kind
a lot
of
longer, didn't he?
You didn't play better than Bruno?
I think you've got
I'll
to
give him 6.5.
I think you've got to give him a 6.
Yeah, I say 6.
in between 6 and 7.
Yeah, 6.2. Hoyland, didn't really notice him.
Yeah, he wasn't on very long at all, was he? He shouldn't really be marking on.
Probably
It's
just a 6 then, yeah.
Not really much to
Yeah.
say.
And who else? Ethan Wheatley, just give him a 6 as well, because obviously wasn't on for that much longer. Well, guys, and Ruud van Nistelrooy, got to rank the manager.
The gaffer.
9.
Well, we did concede 2 goals, but we scored 5.
true,
First down at Old Trafford, had that aura about him. We're going to give him a 9.
He's never lost a game.
Give him an 9.
And would Eric Ten Hag have brought on a Wheatley at that stage? You know, I think you've got to applaud that as well. Bringing on a youth team player.
He's undefeated as a Manchester United manager. You can't. He's never done anything wrong for us.
Played Højlund and Xerxes together for a good period of the game, which I know nothing came of it, but I still wanted to see it. That's a tick in my book. Let's give him a 9. 7.6. You harsh people.
He pushed it up a little bit.
Legend of this club on his first win at Old Trafford, and you're only pushing the boat out to a 7.6.
He'll be watching this now as well. He'll be like, they're already trying to hound me out of the club. 7.6.
And we've got to do our man of the match.
Yeah, I'd say for me,
Ricky's going for Johnny Evans or Lindelof.
Ricky can go first.
I will go Casemiro.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to agree on Casemiro, but as a side spin shout out, Ugarte's getting some flowers as well. If I didn't go with a popular opinion, I think I'd go with Ugarte.
I wish I could give it to Cassie Garte. like a McFred. But
she's got it.
I think we ranked Casemiro the highest, therefore I think Casemiro deserves a man of the match, guys. I think it was a really good performance from him. So we will give it to Casemiro. Let's see what the fans have said. Let's see. Casemiro gets man of the match with 76% of the votes. Hit a like on the video for Casemiro. A fantastic performance from him.
Has the draw come out?
Pardon?
The draw.
Oh yeah, is the draw? Can we get the draw on now so we can see it in the background?
Has it happened? It might have happened already. Hasn't it happened?
I think it's
taking place now.
Taking place because they would have told me in the chat. 100% would have told me in the chat if it would have happened. Got some super chats in, but hit a like. Player ratings on the forum. Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Did you like the change? B, thank you for the super chat. Patrice Evra, thank you for your super chat as well. There, appreciate that. Right, okay. Next thing I wanted to move on to, and we will get the draw up, is if you're Ruud, are you changing anything for the lineup at the weekend against Chelsea? Rick? I
would, but if I'm Ruud, I'm not so sure. I'd bring Ahmad in without a doubt. He's got to start playing more for me. I think if he plays a full game or 75, 80 minutes, you'll start seeing a better player. And I think, I do think he does okay every time he comes on, but he just needs more game time. And if he gets more game time, he might not be quite. He's still shooting a bit too often, and it's just taking the odd wrong decision. And I think he's better than that. I really do. And I think he'll take less shots on if he's not. He's trying to impress to try and get his game. Yeah. So I'd like to see Ahmad play. But your question was, will Ruud make any changes?
Mazraoui probably.
Too bloody right. Well, you don't want Binder in that, do you?
He'll change the keeper. I'm thinking about the alpha. Probably
Xerxes not going to play.
The keeper and Højlund, I think that's it. I think that's
Xerxes. I don't think he's starting Lindelof.
No, I do. Who else have we got?
Do you say Eriksen's injured?
Eriksen's injured.
Right, so I suppose it depends unless there's some kind of development.
I think we start Mazraoui because Mazraoui only didn't start because he had a bit of a knock. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. You never know.
Yeah, if that's the only midfield he can kind of choose, then the two main ones would be Onana, and Højlund would have to start over Xerxes. I mean, what's the point of playing Xerxes against Chelsea?
Yeah.
If you want a player that's going to press and hound the way that Chelsea are going to do, you're not getting that from Xerxes, from what I've seen so far anyway. I know there's a lot of people that want to see the two of them play together and see if they can get some kind of link-up play going together, but at this moment in time, it's a massive game, Chelsea, really. It's a huge game, and we'll just see if we can continue it into Sunday, this so-called feel-good factor, the Ruud van Nistelrooy factor, whatever it is. But the fact it's at Old Trafford again is a big thing, isn't it? Home advantage, really, as well.
I think he'll go unbeaten. I think Ruud's not going to lose a game.
He's going to challenge Carrick's record?
100%. I don't think he's going to lose a game. Yeah.
Well, I think he's probably going to have 4 games in charge. He's going to have, obviously this game he's won. You think we'll beat Chelsea?
Or draw. Still not lost, have you?
That's true.
Unbeaten still, yeah.
And then you've got...
Thessalonica.
Yeah. Sorry, that's disrespectful.
I think in the Europa League, our next 2 games we should be winning anyway.
Yeah.
Even if it was Ten Hag.
And then Leicester again at home, you'd think we'd beat them.
Yeah.
So you'd like to think so.
Yeah.
Ricky, you were saying they were a bottom barrel team earlier in the watch along, and I was.
There's only one place behind us.
I was giving him credit, saying that the 2 points behind us in the Premier League, and they're a Premier League side. So.
I've got a question. Can I bring this up?
Yeah, of course you can.
about the stuff that everyone's been saying about how the lads, you know, because of the new manager and the new manager bounce, and people don't understand when I'm going on about some of the goals, such as Bruno's deflection off the wall, and a Casemiro could take that shot on 50 times and not score. Is this a draw? Yeah. But just a dead quick one. Casemiro's goal where it bounced to him off a defender, and he's there right in front of the goal and he puts it in.
We're number 5. Go on.
So it bounces off somebody, it comes to him, he's 6 yards out and he puts it in. And people are talking about us playing better and the goals coming because of the new manager bounce. Well, in our box, a loose ball bounced to Connor Cody and he scored.
Yeah, true.
Do you mean?
Yeah, you're right.
You're just not reacting to a defensive situation, aren't you?
It's not because he's got a new manager in the dugout, is it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's that new manager bounce, that's what that is. Seen it before.
Oh gosh, I know what we've got because we're behind. Do you want to know?
Tottenham away.
Is it?
Oh, is it?
I'm guessing it's this was the first one.
Then.
Tottenham away. That's a tough game, that.
First match drawn out.
I was about to ask as well, who do you want?
I wanted Southampton.
I swear we always get home games as well, but we've got an away.
Right, we want
It's the
Liverpool.
first time in a few
We
years,
still
I
want
think we've
Liverpool
been
v
drawn
Arsenal
away.
or Newcastle.
That's a right tough one for Amorim, and it'll be Amorim in charge of that game, won't
Next
it?
one up, number 7, Arsenal v Liverpool. Is
But
it
do you know what?
going
The players will be up for it, revenge
it'll be like
against that 3-0.
It's going to be
Trafford.
Southampton.
Or Brentford.
Please, Liverpool.
Number 3.
It's Crystal Palace, I think.
Yeah. It's Crystal Palace.
We're going to play either Arsenal and Tottenham. Probably
Arteta might finally get a cup.
Second one too.
That first FA Cup is a...
Newcastle. Right, we want this to be Liverpool.
Yeah.
We want this to be Liverpool.
We'd love this to be Liverpool, wouldn't we?
It's not, it's rigged.
It's number 1.
No, I think it's Brentford. Yeah.
Yeah, they all got easy games.
So who's
My
still in
memory
there?
is-
Liverpool, I know.
Oh,
That's shocking.
So Liverpool got what? Southampton.
Liverpool are going to get Southampton, aren't they?
Is that the It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
The last draw.
We got the
God's
worst
sake,
draw,
man.
didn't
Sick.
we? We got the worst draw.
Absolutely great.
Liverpool get Southampton away.
Spurs in the next round. Do you know what?
I'll take it.
I get they beat City tonight, but City didn't have the strongest team out. And even though Spurs absolutely battered us at Old Trafford, they're not having their best season. And I know they're a tough team. They always stand up against the big teams, but we'll have the new manager in Amorim.
I was going to say, he'll be
He's
in
got
by
something
then.
for Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah.
So let's see.
He'll be the new kid on the block in the Premier League.
Do you know what? It'll be a good test to see where we're at under new manager, and hopefully we can get the job done. I'm positive about it. You know, at the end of the day, if you want to win the trophy, you've got to be prepared to beat everyone. So
Yeah, but
no one can say we had an easy run to it if we do get that far.
we were excited when Eric Ten Hag come in. Sorry to put doom and gloom on it, but no, I was.
No,
he was a forward-thinking coach.
He'd
won, trophies at Ajax, and the next step in his career, you can look at the Dutch league. But I'm holding back slightly on this one, honestly, because last time I got all excited. I thought that Ten Hag was the man for United. He's won 2 trophies, whatever. It's not worked out for him. But the new manager coming in now, you have to look again and think, Sporting Lisbon, fair enough, what he's achieved in Portugal has been really good. But for some reason, Manchester United is just a different sort of
animal.
Yeah. And how many top managers, have come here and kind of failed to implement an attractive style of play. So all these people that wanted Ten Hag gone and get him out of my club and all this, fair enough, but it's not going to happen in two or 3 games. It's going to take time.
What a goal that is, by the
Got
way.
a good month until that game anyway, so... Well,
I get you, Kev. I feel like people are going to be hesitant on the fence because we've seen, things that we've been excited about go wrong before. But what I will say, guys, got to have a positive attitude.
Oh, I have.
At the end of the day, you've got to do what Roy Keane says. It's Spurs, guys. It's Spurs.
I'm confident.
And I know that they are better than us at the moment, and we have no leg to stand on. And people probably turn up to Old Trafford and think it's going to be an easy day out. But at the end of the day, we can beat them.
They're still capable of being a bit Spursy, as he's saying.
Obviously, I think it's obviously you could hear this. We're obviously going to beat Spurs. I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's right on the wall. Like, we're going to beat them 100%. They're like you said, they're a bottling team. They're known for that. If we're going to play, yes, they smoked us in the league, fair enough. But yeah, come on, cup competitions, you can beat them.
Interesting stuff. Ricky, you don't seem as sure.
It's going to be a tough game, darling. It's going to be a right tough game. They're up for it. He wants to try and win a trophy.
Oh yeah, because he said it.
Unbelievable for a manager to come out with that and say, "I always
was winning my second season."
Do you know what? And I like him that much. Obviously, now we've drawn him, I'm gutted, but I like him that much. I want him to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't now.
Well, not over us.
No, not over us, but I'd love him to win a trophy. You know what I mean? It's the only two that you can win, and obviously we're in them two.
Are they not in the Conference League?
Oh yeah,
they're in the Europa
actually,
League.
they're in three, aren't they? They're in the
Europa League.
Yeah, same as us.
Yeah, they're in three cups, aren't they?
Chelsea in the Conference League, yeah.
Some good teams in that though.
Yeah, I know as likeable as Angie's. I'm sorry.
I don't mean over us.
Amorim's got to turn up and
let's say once we're out of one of the cups, I want him to win. I want them to win that cup.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen, Ricky, because guess what?
We're going to win all three, are we?
We're coming for the Carabao.
We're going to win all three, are we?
We're coming for the Carabao.
A treble.
And we're coming for the Europa. So.
A treble.
Going to win the Prem.
Whichever one we get knocked out of first, I want them
to win it.
Yeah. Well, I want him to win it.
Yeah, okay. I understand your thinking. As much as I like Ange, no can do. Risik Mungel says, oh no, I'm not reading that. Come on. Demar Stewart says, let's not be disrespectful. Demar Stewart says, Erik ten Hag came in under a different board. Do you think that makes a difference? Do you think Ineos with Amorim is going to make a difference for being there from the start?
I don't know. He's had enough money to spend, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Ten Hag has worked under this structure, and in fairness, they did give him time. Some people might say they pulled the trigger a bit early, but we are
some people are saying they pulled it a bit late.
Well, exactly. There's some people that say 7-0 to Liverpool should have been the game where you say no United manager ever loses 7-0 to Liverpool. It was pure naive, at least even that game, weren't we 1-0 down at half time, if I remember correctly?
No,
was it 1 or 2?
2-1,
It wasn't much. It might have been 2-0 at half time.
That was a harsh game to watch.
2-0 at half time. To go on and
can't remember which way round it was, but we let 6 in at City, didn't we? Was it a couple of months before or a couple of months after?
Yeah.
I mean, he's going with the same sort of style and the same format.
The amount of times we've been beaten by 3 or more goals.
Whichever one of them, I think the Liverpool game was the second game, and having already let 6 in at City, that's when he should have got sacked. That's brain dead.
Yeah.
Can I just bring some up that Pep's just said? He's obviously annoyed because he's lost against Spurs.
Let me guess. I'm not bothered about the Carabao Cup.
No, he said that Man City were hungover in the FA Cup final against United.
Is that what he said?
Did he actually say that?
Yeah.
Shithouse.
I hope he doesn't win.
He's
He said that for now. Why is he
bringing us into it for?
He's just bitter because he knows that a proper manager's on the way.
He's running away from them charges. Let's be honest. After this season, he's gone.
Yeah.
Ooh,
He is. That's facts.
And the guy that were going to bring him to replace him, apparently they never wanted. Now Man United have got him.
Yeah,
so much.
Let me think about this one. Omar Barada, who was at City, you're telling me he didn't know who Man City had lined up to replace Pep Guardiola when he calls it a day.
That's a proper strange one, isn't it?
And he could call it a day at the end of this season. I'm sure the man that's going to be rocking up to Old Trafford...
He'd been involved in loads of little meetings with the hierarchy at
City are a well-run
where they've
club.
said we like this player and we like that player and we fancy this manager.
Exactly, the knowledge.
He must have been involved in loads of them conversations.
I said at the end of that, after that FA Cup final, I said Pep is not going to win another trophy for Man City. Ooh. He's not going to win another trophy. He's obviously out this cup now.
He's going to win the league this year.
Is he? Why is that so? Why is that confirmed?
All Liverpool.
Why is that confirmed?
That's a hot take, right?
Go off,
it's not confirmed.
It is a hot take.
It's not confirmed he's going to win the league. Liverpool or Arsenal could still do very well. Champions League, he's won one with City in 8-9 years. That's not confirmed he's going to win. And then the FA Cup that he lost to us last season. He's not going to win another trophy City. He's going to leave after the charges come in, and that's going to be the end of his City reign.
Mods is just feeding off.
That's not even a mad opinion. I just think that's
love it.
I hope you're right. Clip it up. I hope you're so right, Mods.
Well,
I really hope you are right.
Well.
I mean, to me, it's like bringing that up now is just
very, very strange.
Sounds very petty.
But you know what I mean? That seems like you're rattled. Some way or another. Is it because we've actually got a good manager in? Is it because, you're actually thinking, Man United might be serious.
But what a funny thing to refer back to.
What got to do with tonight?
Are you just frustrated that you're now out of another trophy race?
What's that got to do with them getting knocked out of the Carabao? Up to Tottenham, that's why I'm trying.
Maybe he said something like we were hungover tonight, like we were in the quarterfinal.
I had to hear it back, but it just sounds so petty, so childish.
Ruud van Nistelrooy, this is breaking news and it kind of infers that he wants to stay at the club. So let's see what happens with that. He said, I came here as an assistant to help the club. Now in this role, I'm helping as long as I am needed. In the future, in any capacity, I'm here to help the club further to build towards the future. That's what I'm here for. So that is a symbol. That's a symbol of if any of us want to keep me under Amorim, I'm here, I think.
Mm-hmm. It's up to the new manager, really, isn't it?
You can tell he loves the club, can't you?
He'll want to bring in his own staff. Obviously, there's something being held up at the minute where they're trying to get compensation to bring his sort of right-hand men in. But from Ruud van Nistelrooy's kind of point of view, you're at that state, you know, we're all supporters and we love Ruud, but it's going to be harsh, you know, if the new manager looks and thinks, I don't really want him, but I think he's a good go-between between the players. You know, if he comes in now and looks, at least you've got that player that sort of assistant manager, which he wouldn't be under the new manager, but at least he knows the players and he better give you a bit of background and but it would be tough. But at the end of the day, there's not much room for sort of sentiment and that, is there? It's all right us saying, I love Ruud and, you know, I want him to stay at the club, but if the new manager don't want him, then it's as harsh as it is, he's going to be gone.
Well, it is tough because you'd expect Darren Fletcher to stay. He's stayed through quite a few managers, hasn't he? As technical director. You would, obviously, Amorim's bringing in his 2 sports psychiatrists, his 4 coaches, I think it is, you know, his assistants. Ruud literally turned down first team jobs in the summer to be Eric Ten Hag's assistant. Yeah. So you'd think, and he's bought into that style. If he is willing to stay around and, you know, work with Amorim, I think he would be an asset because he knows what it takes to win at Manchester United. He's done that as a player. He knows the dressing room. He knows how players have acted over the past, 6 months. You know, I do think he's got a lot to offer. Hoyland spoke about how good he is at helping with the forward players. So, you know, I would like him to stay. It's just whether he would want to stay because he probably is going to take a step down, and whether Amorim would want him to stay. That's something that's got to be ironed out. But if he can stay, I think it would be great for the club.
I think he should stay, in my opinion. I think all the points you just made are exactly that. Plus, I mentioned before on the build-up show, he kind of brings a bit more love to the club that the fans want. That everyone, let's be honest, I kind of wish I was in the stadium today, but I could tell the atmosphere was crazy that when we won, just because of, you know, especially after the game and Ruud's probably going around to the fans, everyone's probably, that's probably the highest or the best feeling that the fans have had since we won the FA Cup. You know what I mean? So having someone in the club that everyone loves, it actually adds, or it's a benefit to Amorim anyway. And as well, like, let's be honest, like, as I get it, Ruud, he did decent, or he did well at PSV, but to take a Premier League job is a whole nother, what's going on?
No, carry on, sorry.
What's happening?
No, but something that Ruud has said something that's made, like, it's clocked, but carry on with your statement.
No, I was just going to say, like, taking a Premier League job is a whole other ball game, and he could take on Burnley and it could be one of his worst things that ever happens, and all of a sudden now he's back to square one. I think stay at United, work underneath this manager, learn some experience, understand the Premier League a bit more, and then when another job comes, you've built up that knowledge of coaching, of managing at a big club, then go and take a job like a Premier League job where you've got a bit more development under Amorim.
Yeah, I get you. I think it could be good for his career, and we'll see what he decides to do, because we know how much he loves the club, and obviously he's going to want to progress his own carear as well. And it's whether Amorim wants him there as well, because obviously he's going to be the main. He's going to be the new manager. Yeah.
I don't think he'll want to feel like he's just keeping him on. You know, not that situation where you had the Rangnick with sort of Mickey Phelan, where, you know, he just had him putting cones out and whatever he was up to. But, you know, don't just keep somebody for the sake of it. If you're going to use Van Nistelrooy's kind of knowledge and the connection he has with the fans, then that's what you should use it for. And the fact of, you know, if he can set up coaching sessions and he can get the best out of the players on the pitch.
One thing I want to ask you guys is, what did we say we thought Ruud said to Bruno Fernandes today?
What do we think he said? All about
before the game. Before the game.
Oh, so you now know what Ruud said to Bruno before the game?
Ruud said, I wasn't worried about Bruno Fernandes. I see him every day in training. I see how he prepares and he's helping the team. He puts a lot on his shoulders. He's responsible for everything in the club. Today he was free. I told him to play well and enjoy himself. Hopefully more to come. We were right.
Say that earlier.
We said that. You probably said that. And, you know, he literally did have that free role, didn't he? Whether that can work, on a consistent basis. I do think there's got to be some sort of tactical discipline there.
Can't do
But
that against Chelsea though.
Your exact words were that it was almost like he'd been told to go out and just be free.
Enjoy yourself.
And that's what it did seem at that point, you know, and the heat map showed that, didn't it?
Yeah.
His touches, where he
Touch
was,
map,
he was all over the place, but not in the erratic way of, you know, games where we get beat, where you see Bruno and you think, what's he doing out of position? Why is he doing this and that? Today it was effective. But again, so it should be. It's Leicester reserves. But we march on.
Yeah.
Bring on Spurs.
well, on Spurs, we just have a super chat here from AB15 saying it's Spurs, guys, after losing 3-0 at home, be humble. Yeah, we are shameless. I'm going to be honest.
So shameless.
But look, guys, that is the hour, and we need to finish up. We have been live for a long time. But we have, again, smashed another watch-along, not to be too big-headed. And obviously the final score on Fans Forum, and the reason I'm saying we smashed it is because it's 2 wins out of wins.
Yeah.
Two wins out of 2.
Yeah.
And that's
2 out of 2,
important.
yeah.
We'll end with the magic moment, because we've got to keep doing
Magic
it.
moment.
And it is,
I've got one.
go on.
Oh no, I've got 2 actually.
I've got
I was
one.
going to say Bruno's goal, but Casemiro's goal as well.
I was going to say.
It's got to be Casemiro.
I think it's got to be Casemiro.
Casemiro.
As good as Bruno's one, it's got to be Casemiro.
He's a
Go on.
Brazilian.
Xerxes' little trick when he got a corner.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a shout, but he didn't really lead
didn't do
to
anything with it,
anything.
though.
Should have marked him up in player ratings and given him a 9 for that, Ricky.
Oh, buying their save, really good save.
Ricky,
Forgot about that little flick, yeah.
I
Don't
love
know
the
where
way
that
you
came
see
from.
the game. I love it. Can't wait for all your Instagram stuff tomorrow. Make sure you go and follow him. It's amazing. But anyway,
It is.
Rick the Red UK, isn't it?
That's it, yeah.
Look, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your super chats. Please hit a like on the video. We appreciate you all. Ruud's first game and Ruud's first win. Got all your comments down below. How you feeling? When do you think Amorim's going to be announced? Let us know all your thoughts. Ricky, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, really enjoyed it.
Big shift today.
Big shift.
Very big shift.
Wasn't expecting the middle bit out of it, but it was all right.
Mods,
Yeah, no, I've enjoyed myself though, so it's good.
I have loved having you on the watch along. It was your first one. And also, I hope your pep statement comes true.
Oh, it will. 100% will.
And Kev, thank you for joining us. You've eventually got here in the end.
I know I was going to say, I feel like I'm winging this. I've just kind of turned up and yous are all like high-fiving each other going, good job. And
Stealing the glory.
I've just come for this. But no, I will say again, well done, Ricky, Mauds, and to you, Beth, as well. That is a mega long day.
It's all good, Kev.
And hopefully everybody enjoyed the content, which I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
Hope so. Make sure you hit like on the video, comment down below. And I'm excited to do some more stuff. It's coming up, Chelsea, very, very soon, and hopefully some more stuff in the week with the Amorim stuff. Maybe get some shows going then. But thank you for watching, everyone. Hopefully, Goldbridge can be back soon and ready to go. And we will see you on the next one.